Alright, we're going to look at a fairly advanced submission piece here. This is going to be from the compression type of category, compression submission, so we're putting pressure against a muscle group rather than hyperextending the joint or rotating the joint or anything of that nature. On this one we've got most of the compression actually coming in around the chest muscle, but you will feel some on the biceps for sure as well. Kind of depends on a little bit of the structure of your opponent and whether they've got big chest muscles, big biceps, or whether they're both skinny. It will put pain in different places, but generally we refer to this as a chest compression as we're going through it. Now you can hit this from slightly different top positions, but mostly we're going to look at it from a centre top position, or a mount position as you often hear it referred to. So from this position here, whenever I can manipulate Charlie's arm into an inward position like this, it always gives us lots of submission opportunities. Now there's a manipulation series that we do on the arm called inward control series, which again we'll do in another video tuition piece. That's not about, well, the video we're doing now isn't about that type of work, but it leads off of that very nicely. So in other words, when we're down in a centre position from here, manipulating Charlie's arm into this kind of position from here is exactly what we want to do as a setup. A lot of the work that we do when we are manipulating their arm across to the other side, which is absolutely perfect for setting up a whole range of submissions, the work that we do around this, we try not to use the hands too much. We try and do a lot of manipulation and trapping actions to get it across. And the first kind of stopping point that we come to is what we generally refer to as a chest trap. Because here we're putting the weight down on Charlie's arm and using actually the pressure through the chest to trap this into place. We refer to things as traps when we're not using the hands to grip with. So we're manipulating this arm through a series of inward positions using head and arm and shoulders. Again, that's not the nature of this video, but eventually through this you will come to this position right here, which is a chest trap. Now this in itself can be very painful because there's naturally not much room structurally for Charlie's arm to be moving around, and this is already going to put pressure across those two muscle groups from there. So this point here is already getting pretty tight. If I just keep this arm here tight against the side of his head and just keep my chest weight down, this is a great place to control from. From here I can strike and it can be very effective. A very advanced submission, and I say advanced because it's quite difficult to manipulate and the chances of success are a little bit lower than with many of the submissions we do, and that's often why we class things as advanced, because we put all the stuff that's either slightly easier to achieve or has a higher success rate in at the beginning of the syllabus. This one comes in a little later because it's a little bit more difficult to achieve. We are going to take the free arm here and feed it through right inside like this. Now in itself this is a position where you can put a lot of pressure on. I can go for a bicep compression from here just by squeezing up in towards Charlie's bicep from this position. But where I know I'm really going to get it tight is if I can put this palm right across onto the other side of his face from here. If I do that, I'm closing down all of this area here. So my chest is going to be here, my hands right here, and I'm closing all this down around the bony bit of my forearm. So from here this is getting very tight very quickly, and there's all my chest weight on it. So you can see that the bone here is compressing both into Charlie's chest and into his bicep from here in this position. So I'm coming into a standard chest trap procedure from here. I'm taking the arm that's not on the trapping side inside, and I'm just going to let Charlie wriggle out a little bit. Ideally for me would be if he turns slightly that way. If he turns slightly that way, that's perfect for me. I can feed this arm through like this, put it right on the side of his head, and then lay him back down from there. Poor Charlie's already feeling the pressure from here, not particularly nice. That in itself I can lay down on and I'll get both chest and bicep compression. And then if I really want to tighten this up, what I can do is just stick both hands together like this, and just, sorry Charlie, just push down with this forearm and up with this forearm here. That again is putting quite a lot of emphasis on the bicep, but it's also pushing my arm deeper into Charlie's chest, so you'll feel it on the chest as well as you will on the bicep. Even from this position without my chest weight down on it, this is not very comfortable from Charlie. He's trying his best to play nicely through the video, but it's a very uncomfortable position. So one more time, chest trapping from here. We'll cover that in detail in another video. Getting to this point here, we can certainly use this for other purposes. He turns this way, feeding this arm through and sticking it on. Just grip on the side of the head from here. Now look, I'm just going to pop my elbow slightly off his chest onto the side, and that's feeding it real tight in against his armpit. And then from here, I can just lay down and try and finish this. And if I'm still struggling, I can put these arms together like this, push down, sorry Charlie, push down with this forearm from here, keep my chest forwards and just drive. I'm going to have to do this, Charlie, just drive this way and push down. So I'm then crushing upwards on the bicep and driving down with my chest, so he's feeling pain in both of these areas. So chest trap into the combined chest and bicep compression piece from there. Quite an advanced submission, a little bit difficult to manipulate. A real nice one to take some of the power out of this person's arm. It's not the most clean and tidy finished position, so for me when I have to manipulate these hands this can be quite tricky, but if I can put a lot of pressure on here and a lot of pain on here, Charlie's going to have to move to take this pain off, and when he moves to take this pain off, this certainly might lead to other submission opportunities as well in different positions. So in isolation it can be very effective, but as using it for getting this person to move and chain into another, perhaps slightly more rudimentary submission, it can be very effective at that as well. So that's chest / bicep compression from center control or center attack position.